So it's evening and I finished my supper. I am going to do something to occupy my mind. I'm listening to some music, some old music. Actually, the one I was listening to was Tennessee Whiskey. I love that song. So I've been playing it nonstop. No copyright because you can't hear it. So, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I might even turn this off just in case. Oh, this is Down in the Boondocks. I love that song. Okay, so I am going to make a dream catcher. And what I use hula hoops because they're big, they're massive. And so I like to hang um, my hula hoops from the curtain rod in the patio window. It's just a little thing I have, right? But I am going to make it. It takes a long time. So I'm only going to show you glimpses of it during the process, right? So the first thing I do is I have to pick out a color of yarn. And I picked out a yarn that I had that was very soft. It's very, very soft. It's almost like a cat. That's how soft it is. What is it called? Yeah, it's actually faux fur. Faux fur. Faux fur. Try saying that 100 times. Anyway, so I've got that. I've got a hula hoop. And I'm finger knitting. So because I'm left-handed, I finger knit backwards, right? So I'm going to cover this whole exterior with the faux fur. Yeah. So I'll try to show you how to do it. I have a fan for my cat. He's never too far from me, so I have two of them. So, okay, so I just twist it around my finger, and remember the old way that we used to do the finger knitting? It goes very fast. If you make a mistake and you have to take it apart, oh, it takes forever, but it's amazing. And I don't even need my glasses to do it, so that's good. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing it, and then when I get halfway, I'm going to come back. But what I want to do is I want to do this and listen to the music. So that's how I relax in the evenings. And I mean, we've been going through a hot spell. We've been getting sun nonstop, and I am on the side of the building where I get the blaring sun. Even my plants are having a hard time surviving. So, like my pepper plants look like a tree. They look like a tree. I have no blooms on them, but they look like a tree. But they're beautiful. The leaves are massive. I don't want to destroy them. Just let them go. If I knew what I was doing wrong, I think I need nutrients, but I can't afford to get them right now to find that I need. And so, hopefully they'll last a little bit longer, but they're really growing. But I have full sun, so I forget where that story was going. Oh yeah, because it's been really, really hot. And so I sit usually in the evenings when it's cooling down with the windows open and the curtains open to let some of that cool air in and some of that hot air out. And at nighttime, I love to look at the stars. And I get to see the Big Dipper all the time at night. So it's just beautiful. It's relaxing, listening to the music. And this is Down in the Boondocks. So I love this song. It's from my generation. So I'm going to play this and I'm going to finger knit this. And I'll show you what it's like when I get about halfway. Okay, I'll be right back. So I started, it's coming along pretty good. It's actually really, really soft. You can see that. It's kind of like a tan color. So it's going to be really pretty. I'm not really sure what kind of feathers. I have different kinds of feathers I'm going to hang from it. I'll show you them after. I used to make these years ago to sell, and I've sold quite a few of them, but I haven't sold any for a long time. But this one is just for my benefit because it keeps the mind occupied and it's good for the fingers. And I am in my 60s, and so keeping your finger nimble is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. So, okay, so I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so you take the yarn and you literally wrap it around your finger, bring it down, and put it and just pull. Finger knit. I learned how to do that years ago. It's so relaxing, and when you listen to music while you're doing it, it goes so fast. Like I've got a quarter of it done, and I just basically started the video. So in the winter time, I'm a fall baby. I love the fall. And so going into the winter, I love that first snowfall that we get, but in the winter time, I have a fireplace right there. And I turn the fireplace on, I sit cross-legged on the floor. Now I used to have a sectional. I gave it to my son, but I have a little love seat now, but I sit on the floor. I want to get one of those big yoga cushions. I don't have one. I might make one if I can't afford to purchase it. But yeah, so I sit on the floor and I fingernail. Sometimes I'll do dream catchers. Sometimes I will do wall hangings. So there's a few things that I do make. I made a couple of double looped dream catchers, really small ones. I've made the, what's it called, the eye that protects you. I made a few of those. So, and that's kind of like, that's with a needle, like a thread. It's not with yarn, but yarn is, it's good enough for me. Yeah, so. I've made dream catchers with nylon rope. I've made them with burlap rope. I've made them with hemp rope. The ones with the rope are beautiful because you can comb the strands of rope. You can comb them, and they actually get very soft. They get like almost like a horse's mane. Yeah. So, but I like this one because it's very, very soft. Yeah, it's very soft. Yeah. So I'm almost halfway, and then when I get halfway on this, I will cut it and I will go to the other side and do the other side because it's really hard to do a whole thing continually fingernail. So I have to do one side and then the other. But you know, it's the most relaxing thing. You have no idea. Finger knitting, like with anything, just even for the sake of finger knitting, like you can finger knit a scarf. You don't need knitting needles. You can do it with your hands, with your feet, with your fingers. I seen a girl on YouTube, and she made a massive blanket with that really big yarn that you can buy, and she made a massive blanket, an Afghan, that it was absolutely beautiful. I want to learn how to do that so bad. So we're almost at the end. I bought 2 spools of this, so I think I paid $4. $4. It's a lot more than that. I think it's like $10 or $12 at the yarn store. So I got a pretty good deal. But you have to basically dig to the bottom of the bin because they're in the bottom row, and they kind of get all rampled together when people are going through the bins, right, at the dollar store. So I do want to make a cat tree. I want to make a cat tree for my cat. I had one before, and he loved it. However, he loved it so much, he destroyed it. He wholly and completely destroyed it. Yeah. And, you know, they're only made out of cardboard. It's a cardboard pipe. Almost like that hard cardboard that you get, what do you get, wrapping paper on? But the really hard stuff? Yeah, so I got to figure out how I can make one because they're pretty expensive. Like, it's almost $100 to buy a cat tree. Yeah. And guess what? He's not going to be sleeping in my room, and I can tell you that much. He likes to sleep at the foot of my bed, under my bed, at the foot of my bed. However, and I don't seem to be getting any cat hair, but I vacuum like every day, and I dust every day. So if there's any cat hair here, it's because I haven't found it. So, yeah, so I'm not going to be, I don't want to have that in my lungs, you know? Because apparently cat hair is dangerous because it can actually cut the lining of your lungs. And that's why I think they don't allow babies, or they say that you shouldn't have cats that goes into a baby's room. Yeah. So, because can you imagine? A baby's lungs are awful small. So I'm coming to the end. Almost done. So if I brought my scissors. So what I like to do is I like to cut a piece and then I put it straight across and then I wrap around it so that so none of the string is noticeable. Like, it's so relaxing. You have no idea. Making a video is different, right? But for some of this, I had the music one. And Willie Nelson and, oh, I keep forgetting who that fellow is. But yeah, they're going to sing Seven Spanish Angels. So as soon as I do this, I'm going to take another break. I'm going to hear that song. I'm having a cup of tea with cinnamon, green tea with cinnamon. And, okay, so there's that. Okay, so now I'm going to take my scissors. So it's right at the end, and I'm going to cut a fairly good chunk. I'm going to cut maybe to there. See? And it's right at the end, okay? So at the end, I do a double knot. Yeah, so. And then that way, I don't have a lot of, I don't have a lot of, what do you call it? oh, bitch, no. So you don't have a lot of yarn hanging over. So I'm going to do a double knot at the bottom. So I've been doing the Himalayan salts. I've been doing that every time I have a glass of water. I put a little bit of Himalayan salt on my finger. I put it on my tongue. I let it dissolve, and then I drink my water. And you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. Because I was finding that I was dehydrated really, really bad. And my skin was like so wrinkled. It was just, the wrinkles were so deep, and that's usually a sign that you're dehydrated. So I wanted to fix it. So I read up, and so there you go. So that's half of it. And this is where, on this side, okay, this is where one of the feathers will hang. And then when I get to the other side, I'll make sure that I have a piece of string there, and the bottom will be done differently. So I'll have to show you that. So this piece here actually gets braided in, but I'm not going to do that yet. So I'm going to take a break, drink some tea, listen to good old Willie and the boys, and I will be back with the last half. I'll be right back. So I still got about a quarter of it to do. I had to put another fan on because it's so hot. We are going into the evening, so I have the window open and I'm getting a little bit of a breeze, but oh, I'm telling you, it's hot. My cat is wanting to play with the rope or the yarn, and you can't let him be doing that, so he's running around and playing. I think my cat thinks he's a human, like he does. Like, he actually knows what I'm saying to him. If I say treat, he knows. If I say up, he knows we're going outside. If I say go up on your chair, he has a specific chair outside that he likes to sit on when I put the blinds up, so that I have, like, I made myself some blinds that go on, like, almost makes it like a veranda. And so I hook them up, and he likes to sit on his chair and watch the birds and watch the cars. And yeah. So he knows, like, he knows a lot of the words that I say. And I think ever since he was little, I basically spoke to him. I talked to him. So when I say bedtime, I say it's bedtime, he goes to bed. Actually, I don't think he rambles, but he does protect. Apparently, your cat will stay awake to guard their territory. You are their property. And my cat does that. He does that. He doesn't sleep in my bedroom. He doesn't. I think when he was a kitten, I used to keep him in my room, but no longer. I don't do it any longer. He likes to sleep under my bed. I have, you know, those storage containers with the wheels on for my winter clothes and some of my blankets and stuff, because I don't have a lot of room, a lot of cupboard space. So yeah, he likes to snuggle up to them, to sleep beside them. But usually he doesn't. Usually he likes, I have a laundry basket with nothing in it. And yeah, he likes to sleep in the laundry basket with his teddy bear. And if he doesn't have a teddy bear, he finds it and he will take it and he will put it in his laundry basket. And that, my dear friends, is where he sleeps and what he sleeps with, which is good because I think that breathing in that cat hair wouldn't be a good thing. And we're going into the winter now. I don't know. I think he already lost his winter coat, so now he'll be blowing. But he didn't really lose that much hair. And I don't know, maybe with the fans going, what happens is the hair doesn't like spread everywhere. It kind of goes in a clump, and then I pick it up. I vacuum every day, so and I always make sure that I clean my vacuum cleaner out as soon as I'm done vacuuming. So I try to keep it as good as I can so that I'm not getting sick, and I'm feeling good. My skin is hydrated. I'm feeling quite capable to walk my 8 kilometers. However, I haven't been because of the danger. Where I live, there's a lot of areas where it's not really the safest to walk, and that did happen to me at one point in my healing journey where I was walking down the wrong place at the wrong time, and somebody was having a rough day, and I had to deal with the repercussions of that. So I had to take the picture down because I don't like to remember it. It was a pretty rough week. Yeah. So I'm very cautious. I do walk with protection, and not like that. I walk with a walking stick. So always. I don't really need it anymore, but for balance, I take it because I had the stroke. Sometimes if I'm feeling, if there's a fluctuation in the temperature, my blood pressure will drop, or my blood pressure will go through the roof if it's really hot. So sometimes I'll take my walker. And did you know, I was looking at this on YouTube the other day, that 8 to 10 minutes after you start walking, your blood pressure will lower. I didn't know that. I thought it would get high. But apparently, walking is good because it helps to circulate the blood. And the cayenne water that I'm drinking every day, like, I'm telling you, for me, it works. It works. My cholesterol is like, I'm happy. Put better. I'm very content with the methods that I'm using. I did contact a health food store, and I am going to be going in and buying some potassium, magnesium, omega-3, kefir grains, and what was the other one I wanted to get? Akkermansia. Yeah. So I have to get my gut microbiome fully functioning, and I believe that I have, but I want to keep it up. I also, I have chlorella, and I only have one container of it left, so maybe 30-day supply. So I got to see if she has chlorella, because I'm going to use that to get rid of the excess fluoride in my system. From what I've read about the fluoride, and there was a study, and I'll post it down below, there was a study that just came out, and I think it's the FDA, but I'll have to check, where they're actually saying that fluoride causes neurological problems really bad in babies. So, just saying, you might want to check that article out. So I am going to be getting something to help me detox from the fluoride and the amount that we're filling and all the fluoride that's in our food, in our cosmetics, and all that, right? And I really wondered why. I used to wear, what's it called, eyeshadow, and I like the colored eyeshadow, not the blue, but the dark, the smoky colors. And I used to get, my eyes would get itchy and they would swell up. I was allergic to it. I always wondered why. Well, guess what? There's aluminum in that eye makeup. At least back in my day when I was wearing it, there was. Yeah. So I can't wear it anymore. I don't purchase it anymore. And any that I have, I just stayed away. Okay, so it's done. Isn't that cool? So here where the two of them join, I tied a knot, and that will be where the center feather goes. And then I think I'll put 4 feathers, maybe here, 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 and here, right? So we space them right. And the top, I use that as the top where it ends is going to be what I use to hang it with. So, and I think I have to put a few more on here. I think what I'm going to do is I did this first part of the dream catcher with you watching most of it because I was watching this. Anyhow, I think what I'm going to do with the webbing is I'm going to lay it flat on the table, on my table, right? How do you do that? Right there, that table. And I'm going to have the camera up high. So you won't see me, but you will see me doing the webbing because that can be a little confusing. And so, you know, I will try to post the video where I go basically in depth how to do it, but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Okay, so I'm going to leave about that much. I'm going to cut it. And there's like a little spout there, and that goes into that. And then I just take the excess pieces that I had, and I just push them. The good thing about having this type of yarn is that when you're putting them together at the end, when you're tying them, you can actually fluff it up and you won't see where the joins are, the joints. So I'm going to tie it. Normally I use hot glue when I end it, but today I'm not going to. I don't feel like it. And plus, I only think I have 1 or 2 sticks of hot glue left, so there. Okay, so now because this is fur, tomorrow I'm going to put a little blob of glue at the end, so it will make the yarn kind of stick together on the one piece. But this is the one that it's going to hang, right? So I'll make that into a loop and it'll hang like that. And that will be where the feathers start to go, right? So now what I have to do is I have to decide what color of webbing I want. So I don't know if you can see the color of that. It feels so soft. It feels like a kitten. It really does. Yeah, it feels like a kitten. So that's the end of this first part of making my dream catcher. I'm really excited to show you how it turns out. I've made a few of these before. I did make dream catchers with seagull feathers. When I go out and there's seagulls who have, they actually pull their feathers out. I don't know why, but they do, and they end up on the ground. And so I pick them up, I delice them, I wash them, I use baking soda on them, and that will kill any fleas or ticks that are on them. I clean them, I put them in a paper bag for a couple of weeks, and then I use them. And seagull feathers are so beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I will post a picture at the end of this video of the one seagull dream catcher I made. I did gift it to someone who was very important in my life, someone who was there for me for many times and was a very strong support system during my healing journey. So I shall see you on part 2 of making a dream catcher. So I'll see you next time. Bye. The good Lord be willing.